Good morning, everybody. It's the Wolf. It's the morning. It's Friday. Thank God. What we got going on today? Well, I promised to do this yesterday. Stuff kind of happened in life, and I'm going to get to it now. What's that? My anime take on Rising of the Shield Hero, the kind of controversial anime that Anime News Network and Crunchyroll and all the leftists like Mary Sue are screaming re because the hashtag believe all women and all that ballet of leftist intersectionality bullshit. Yes, I have to get that out of the way before diving into this anime. And yes, I will be tackling the controversies. I will also be giving my general opinion. Then I'll tackle the controversy because that's in spoiler territory. So, yes, this does have spoilers. Yes, you have been warned. I will give one more warning before I dive in. Now, overall impression of Rising of the Sheer Hero sits between a 7.5 and an 8 out of 10. Like, good, but not, oh my god, the best thing ever, and certainly not the pits. Cinematography, the artwork, voice acting, all that stuff is good. It's a good product. It's solid. I really haven't seen where it dips out and gets terrible. I mean, I'm sure guys like Digipro and other people will have that heavily artistic eye. I ain't them. I'm I'm slightly above a normie, but that's about it. Now, full disclosure before we start diving into spoilers, I've never read the light novel. I don't read light novels. I don't read manga. I don't have the time nor the money. So my only interaction with Rising of the Shield Hero is the anime itself, and it's pretty much going to remain that way. Now, if you guys out there who happen to see this have more intel, more things, by all means, leave it in the comments below. I'm just letting you know now, the anime is the only thing I've seen on this source material. And I know, I've seen Digibro's reviews with this other buddy, and I know it's somewhat different from the original source material. I get it, okay, guys? Now, your spoiler warning! Spoiler warning! Damn, I can't hold on to it like that. Just a little comedy for you guys. But yes, we're diving into spoilers. All right, now, there are two controversies, and we pretty much run smack into them right in the first episode or two. The first one, yes, there is a false rape accusation against the protagonist, the Shield hero. Yes, the second main claim. Yes, he does take a slave. Morally, I don't agree with it. But given the circumstances, which I will dive into because I have to give you guys some context, it's not like he's given a hell of a lot of choice in the matter. Now, backstory. Our main hero, he's an otaku, basically an anime lover. He lives with his parents. He's in college, but because he helped his brother, out of a sticky situation and not turning into a little punk, his parents let him live at home, give him an allowance. He goes to college. He's right now living the idyllic otaku life. Well, he goes to the local library, to find new anime to read, stuff like that, and he picks up a book. And it talks about four heroes. They are the sword hero, the bow slash archery hero, the spear hero, and the shield hero. And it's giving them basic, like very basic general information. And he's flipping through, and then suddenly the page blanks. Magic happens, and he gets drawn into the world that's being described. Now, disclosure: the four heroes come from four multiverse variants of Japan. And the other three variants of Japan, the story that they're being drawn into is some form of game. So the other three guys who get brought in, the spear, the bow, and the sword hero, they already know a lot about this and they've played this game. It's actually very popular in their world. But for our shield hero, this is like almost unknown. So he's going in cold, and the other guys, they know about this. In fact, when they're debating about why they're going to do this, they want recompense, they want recognition, and all that. The shield hero kind of goes, "You guys are kind of acting like dicks, but you kind of know what you're going on, so I'm just going to go along with this for now." And they actually have a thing after they meet the king, and it comes to find out the royalty and the aristocracy do not like the shield hero. You don't know why, but they look very much down the shield hero. And in the game, the shield hero's like, yeah, no one really plays the shield hero. It's kind of the shield hero is kind of pathetic. But yeah, later they go up to their rooms, they have their talk, they come to find out that, this is a very popular game in their versions of Japan, but they all have different prime ministers, all different histories, you know. Like one guy, it's a VR MMO, another guy, I think it's like a tabletop, and another one's like a console game, so, just some backstory there. Now, we get to the part where other adventurers who are not the shield heroes drawn from the other world, but they're, fighters from their world, all line up to, form parties with the different heroes and go level up. Because there's also this restriction that if heroes party up, they tend to limit themselves. Like, they get less experience. I mean, to the people in... it's kind of that different world where it's a quasi game, but like all the game mechanics for the players, aka the heroes, they have like their operating menu, but to like the people, it's magic. It's kind of that deal. Kind of straddles the line between technology and fantasy and magic. But they come to make the parties to go out and start this adventure. Of course, heroes can bring up more people as they go along, and no one lines up behind the shield hero. Again, kind of showing that bias that the hero doesn't know why. But the king goes, fine, fine, fine. Since the hero got no one, you guys get this amount of silver. He gets extra silver because no one parties up with him. And then at the last second, this one girl decides, hey, I'll party with them. And it's this cute redhead. And of course, Shield Hero being the otaku, completely, geeks out. And, you know, she says, hey, maybe we should get you some better armor and equipment. And you also come to find out, and the armor they go to the first time, tends to be a recurring character and someone that the Shield Hero will routinely go to for equipment. But he goes, maybe I should get a sword. He tries to pick up the sword, and it literally shocks him and falls out of his hand. He tries to pick up another sword, same thing happens, and then finally his pop-up says, you can use only the shield. You cannot use any other weapons. And it's like, ooh, that sucks. So he can't even use a sword, he can't use an axe, he can't use a dagger. He can use his hands, his feet, and his shield. That's it. That's all he's got. Which means he has nothing for attack, but he makes up for in adaptability and lots and lots and lots of defense and self-healing. I mean, this guy is a tank among tanks, if you can get the parlance. So they go out, he starts hunting low-level monsters, blah, 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 and they get done for the evening. And something that happened in the armor, I forgot to mention this, that she asked, how much did that armor sell for? It's like, I'll sell it to you for 125, but I'll buy it back for 100. And the shield hero's like, why are you asking this? She's like, oh, no. This just chainmail's only going to last you so long. You're going to get better armor later, so it'd be nice to know what you can sell it back for. And the hero goes, oh, that's good to know. Well, they get done for the day. They go back to the inn, and, the girl starts trying to get the shield hero drunk. The shield hero goes, no, I don't drink alcohol. And they have a nice dinner, though. And he goes, hey, thanks for the help. And she's like, you sure you don't want to drink? And he's like, no, I'm just going to go to bed. And he does. He goes upstairs. He does a smart thing with the silver. He takes about 20 silver coins and stuffs it in his shield, doing the whole tours and thing, just in case he gets robbed. But he gets, he takes off his armor, hangs it up, locks away his money that he has left over, and blah, 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 and goes to sleep. Now, the shield, he can't remove the shield. He can't take it off. I mean, he can slide it around his body, like he can put it on his shoulder. He can, flip it from arm to arm, but he can't take the shield off. When he wakes up the next morning, all of his equipment is gone. He's been totally ransacked. He goes to his partner going, hey, wake up, something's wrong. And then he can't get in the door, and then suddenly he's surrounded by 6 soldiers. He gets taken to the castle, and that's where the rape claim gets laid down. They even have the quote-unquote blousey to her. She gives this particular sob story that he forced himself on her, and the shield hero's just sitting there dumbfounded like, whoa, I didn't do this. I was robbed. And you see the spear hero wearing his chainmail armor. And the whole thing goes down. Everybody believes the girl. Hashtag believe all women. And the spear hero's like, how dare you? And the other two heroes like, dude, you're totally wrong. I know you think you're a hero, but the fourth, and they believe the girl. And it comes out the girl's the king's daughter. She's the princess. So it's an even bigger slam against him. And the king gets up, slams down, and says, this is a matriarchy. Assault against a woman in this country is death. But I can't kill you because I need you. I need you to stop these waves. I need you to stop these monsters. So he basically strips him of everything that he had given him. And the shield hero goes, well, if you don't want me here, send me home. And the king's like, no, I'm not going to do that. You're going to pay your penance of everybody know that you did this, even though he didn't, and I'm stripping you of everything, and you have to still defend us, even though we all hate your guts now. And of course, the shield hero basically stomps off and goes, well, fine. He even takes the money he hid in his shield. He didn't get it all, but here, he chucks it to the ground, stomps out the door, and like basically, screw the world. The world's against me. I'll make my own way. He goes back to the armorer costume, and he's about to start beating him. The shield hero goes, just do it. I don't care. I didn't do this, but you're not gonna believe me. But the armorer guy actually goes, wow, she really did do you wrong. Here, he tosses him a green cloak, which you'll see the rest of the time, and he basically goes off into the wilds and starts trying to make his way. Next, you see him. He's starting to make a business for himself. Like when he takes down monsters when he can, and he sells the remnants after putting some in his shield. Now, the cool thing is that if he or his party kills monsters, there's remnants of the animal that's left over or the monster. He can put it into the shield, and the shield gains new abilities. So he has all these very entry level monsters in this, and he sees this one person of the land, you know, native, can basically sell to this one person who buys this stuff for a pair of coppers. He comes up with this gigantic pile, like, how much for this? The guy says, well, that's 2 coppers. And the shield hero goes, oh, really? I just saw you sell that, one set for 2 coppers. Why don't you give it to me? And then he actually gets this real demonic look. And he starts playing on, well, screw it. If you're going to treat me like it, I may as well act like it and get my way anyways. And he basically strong-arms the guy into giving him a fair shake. And he gets enough to eat for the day and all that. And as he's walking out, this guy who looks like a carnival dealer walks up to him. He's like, hey, I got what you're looking for. And then Chiller goes, no, thanks. And this goes into the second controversy. The guy's a slave trader, mostly demi-humans. Demi-humans are basically, fox people, raccoon people, wolf people, part human, part animal. And he goes, hey, slave, and the slave trader's like, it doesn't, why are you so, slavery's legal in this country, and I don't see anybody coming to help you, but slaves are completely loyal. You can tell them what to do, and they have to do it. And the shield hero stops and goes, well, right now I'm not leveling up. I have no one to fight for me because I can't, the only thing I can do is kind of like look for herbs and stuff like that, and I can fight very low level monsters, but it takes me forever and a day to destroy them. I need someone who can wield a weapon. So he says, screw it, and goes with the slave trader. He starts looking around the wares, and of course the slave trader slows him, the best thing he's got. And he's like, yeah, why show me the best you've got when you know I can't afford it? I'm like, well, then let's look around for what you can afford. And he comes up on a little raccoon girl. Her name's Raftalia. Now, I'm sorry, guys, this is taking forever, but there's just so much context you guys need to understand. Now, Raftalia, she's a little raccoon girl. She looks about maybe 9 or 10. Prepubescent. And Shield Hero goes, I'll take her. And this girl can barely stand up. She's sickly. I mean, she's not far from death's door, not long for this world. Well, he takes her, and, he forces her to kill this little balloon animal monster and all that, gives her a dagger, kill it, and, forces her to do that after, she's been given a slave seal. And he goes, all right, well, let's go. And, they're walking along, and you hear her stomach just growl. And he's like, you're hungry, huh? Let's go get something to eat. And he walks into this, little tavern place, and it on the says is we don't serve demi-humans. She goes, master, and he goes, I don't care, get in here. He's playing on his. No one's gonna mess with me. I'm my reputation might be crap, but I'm still one of the hero, and I'm gonna play on that. And he buys her probably the first decent meal she's had in Lord knows how long. And he starts treating her like a little girl, almost fatherly to her. And he keeps trying to teach her how to attack things, and she's terrified. And one night while they're outside, she gets, she takes a turn for the worse. Well, he had started learning herb lore and all that, learning medicines, and that's how he'd been getting by and making money. Well, he makes some medicine for her, and she goes, ew, this tastes nasty. It's like, yeah, things are good for you tend to be. Just drink it. You'll feel better. Next morning, she's pretty much healed. And this will become a thing later where he becomes a healer to get by. And long story short, you come to get a little more of Raphtalia's backstory, where they're in this mine. He's trying to get crystals to sell, and this two-headed dog attacks him. And Raphtalia's family was slaughtered by a different variation, more monstrositous two-headed dog. And he's trying to force her to kill it. She refuses. She's terrified, the whole Black Wing scenario. And he finally says, screw it, get out of here. I'll keep this thing occupied, run. And she suddenly stops, has that panic because that's what her father did. And she goes, you're the only person who's ever been nice to me, this, that, and the other. She finally jumps in and kills the beast and starts conquering her fears. And he basically tells her, look, I can't bring your parents back. No one can. But if you help me, we can stop other children from having to deal with what you dealt with. So, not only, now I know this is a slave, but not only has he armed her, started training her, fed her well, healed her from being on death's doorstep, and he's also giving her a purpose to keep fighting. Basically, he's been the nicest person to her, even though he's kind of demanding that she fight. That the only other people who have ever been this nice to her are her parents. And so she starts having hero worship, and yes, total cliche, she starts falling for him almost immediately. Now, another thing, demi-human, when they start leveling up, they grow up quickly. So she goes from looking like a child to looking like, an 18 to 20-year-old in the passage of weeks. But of course, the shield hero, because of his warped way of looking at the world right now, he can't understand it. Now, I've been going for about 18 minutes. I really didn't mean to, but there's just so much to unpack and cover. So I'll stop this here with the shield hero. I'll look in more into it later, like I'm going to do Ultraman. I'll tell you guys this. It's the leftist bang that has turned this into controversy. Yes, the shield hero took a slave. In the circumstances he was given, it's not like he had much of a choice. He has to survive. He has to level up. He has to fight what's coming. It's demanded of him. He has no choice. He's almost like a slave himself to the situation. But because of the fake rape accusation, him losing everything, no one will party with him. He's treated like the scum of the earth. He's in an impossible situation, and he has to do the best he can to start leveling up and get someone who will fight with him so they can gain experience so he can actually do the job that's being demanded of him. Do I like the fact that he took a slave? No, not really. But can I understand it? When your back's to a wall like that and you're pretty much run out of choices, but you have to get a job done, you do what you gotta do to get the job done. And it's not like he's sitting there actually raping this slave, mistreating her. He heals her. He treats her like a person. It's just he needs something he can depend upon to get the job done. It's an elegant situation on a fucked up mess. So I'm going to leave it there. I'll go more if you guys like that. If you like me starting to review anime like this, leave some comments below on animes you'd either like me to watch or comment upon, and I'll let you know. This is The Wolf. I hope you've enjoyed this, starting look and kind of in-depth backstory into the controversy and to why the leftists were screeching re over this anime, which I think is a little bit unfounded. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you later.